Hey family, it's your favorite brother Hassan, and on this episode of Ambition with Hassan podcast, I have American comedian, actor, writer, and he's currently running for councilman at large for Washington, D.C., the amazing Red Grant.
How you doing? You can call me Rodney.
Oh, Rodney? Okay. Well, let me start over. So we have American comedian, actor, writer, and he's currently running for councilman at large for Washington, D.C., Mr. Rodney Grant. How was that? Is that better?
It's all good. I appreciate it. The reason why I say that, because, they try to throw certain things in the game when it comes to me. They don't want me to use red. They want me to pick and choose. It becomes a fight and a battle at all times. So Rodney Red Grant is always going to be red, and red is always going to be Rodney. So I try to, let people know that, just to know who I am as a person.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that, Rodney. Thank you so much for this. Well, let's just get started, man. You have an amazing, you have such an amazing and inspiring career, starting from being from here, Washington, D.C., and then you have toured the world, sharing your personality, sharing what you have to say on certain topics, but in a historical way, funny way and everything. Oh, we got a special guest. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying he pops in there.
Not him bringing the dog.
I apologize.
It's okay. Not you bringing the dog on the show. It's okay.
He brings himself on the show.
No, I love it. But real quick, man, let's just get started. Can you share some of the insights into your journey, starting from gracing the stage at New York's Apollo Theater in '96 to leading in the Cat Williams Dark Matter tour of today? Let's talk about that journey.
Well, I think it starts a little bit before that.
Okay.
Just being able to be an entertainer in general, like this, when I grew up, my mom's put me in every piece of entertainment that you can put a young Black kid from Southeast Washington in, like just keep him out of those situations. So from choirs, I've sung for 2 presidents, and just having me around very talented individuals when it comes to acting and when it comes to, writing and but not even knowing it. So just my career probably started before I was even thinking about it, performing for my grandmother, singing songs and Gladys Knight. And, I could only stay up if I sung. And, just that pressure of that, preparing me, not even knowing I would be being prepared. But my first time on stage is when I was 19, and one of my fraternity brothers was like, you funny, man, you should go on stage. So I went up to Mr. Henry's and Adams Morgan and went on stage and did all right. But I lied. I told the story to Rock Newman the other day. I lied to the president of the student body at UDC and told him I was a comedian before I was a comedian. He put me on the Def Comedy Jam show. And even though I wasn't on Def Jam, I got a chance to kind of feel that before I was even on. So I met a few people who actually helped my career grow. And the first place it wasn't Apollo, it was Def Comedy Jam. I did Def Comedy Jam in Apollo the same 95, 94, it's around in that time. I was able to get a great break, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's been amazing. And so you say you've started before then, started in school, being in, different activities and things like that, really showcasing, your versatility from acting, singing, everything. So, and you say you sung for, I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong.
President Reagan and the first Bush.
And the first Bush. Okay. Yeah, I've sung
at the lighting of the Christmas trees in DC.
Nice. Dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about DC. So you say from Southeast, what part? Because I'm from Southeast too. I'm from Stanton Road.
You Stanton Road, I'm down the street. I'm on Minnesota Avenue and Branch Avenue where we meet at Fort DuPont Park.
Yeah, Fort DuPont.
That's where
okay.
I grew up at.
Oh, that's what's up.
And that's the craziest thing is I got a chance to see summers in the park every summer. So I got a chance to be exposed to music and culture so early in my life. My mom used to be like, "Y'all go to the park. Y'all just get out the house, go to the park." And we saw some of the best. We saw Roy Ayers and Pieces of a Dream, and I can go on and on, performing at the live concerts. And I also was when I tell people this, they laugh, but I also was a junior park ranger when I was growing up.
Not a
So
park
because I
ranger.
lived next to
Okay.
the yeah, so as I lived next to the park, so I became a junior park ranger. All the rangers over there now know me. The ones who've been working there for a long time, they know me for being like a junior park ranger. So it's just so funny how God moved you through the world.
And so what high school did you go to?
The best one, Dunbar Senior High School,
Dunbar. Okay.
Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide.
Uh,
Okay. Okay. Well, we gotta show
yeah.
love to everything about DC. You know what I mean?
Well, you
So
gotta understand, DC is one of the cities that people do take pride in their schools.
yeah,
Like my
absolutely.
my my partners that went to Easton, they're gonna be Ramblers forever. Anacostia, they're gonna be, Indians forever. When you go to Blue, you're gonna be, a Knight forever. I mean, and I can go on and on and on. Roosevelt, everybody takes pride in their schools. Coolidge. I mean, I love the way the DCIA is set up because people do take pride in their schools, and that's the key to life. But what we need to do is make sure that our schools are blending together, where we all uh, are teaching our kids some innovative uh, learning, so they can get ahead of the game right now. And so that's a big, and teaching conflict resolution and uh, different things like that, and money management. And it's so much that we got to teach our young people, especially about financial literacy and how to keep your money, and not wait till you're 30 some years old to find out how to take care of your money.
Absolutely, absolutely. And listen, and you are already ahead of this show talking about everything that you plan to do, for the city, and we're gonna get to that. But I want to finish a little bit, a little bit in the comedy part about you, because you already went there, brother, and I love that about you. But
Well,
slow down.
people always try to, they try to get to where they want to get to,
No.
but it's all a part of me,
Yes,
you know.
absolutely.
So I mean, it's a part of my upbringing. So I usually spill it over. So whatever questions you want to ask, I'm with it. Son.
Okay, okay.
I'm with you.
So caught. Let's talk about caught red-handed.
Mm.
And Red Grant, right? Showcase your comedic and talent on television. How do you approach crafting and delivering a successful stand-up routine?
Well, rehearse a lot.
Okay, 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 okay.
And I say that by going on tour,
Yeah,
just touring and being able to do it repetitiously, over and over and over, and being creative. Just I got some creative friends, man. I got friends that's creative, family members that are creative. Everybody I'm around, it seems like it's a opportunity to write something new. And I always tell young comedians, make sure you write 4 or 5 jokes a day, even if you don't use them. Just write them. Uh, and like the day I was just thinking about, like, everybody, I'm the oldest person in my house, right? Everybody else younger than me. So in their brain, they know I'm gonna be the first one to go.
okay. No.
and
Well,
I'm
let's
hope
hope
and
not.
I
But
hope they
okay.
wrong.
Yes,
And I
right.
hope they
Me
wrong.
too.
Not that I wish nothing on nobody else, but God dang, I forgot I'm the oldest person. They talk to me like I'm the oldest person too. They like, you ain't gonna be here long.
It's almost
We'll be
time.
here longer. We'll be here longer than you, brother.
So you say you tell young people, you tell the youth to write 4 to 5 jokes a day. Is there a particular reason? Like first let's go back.
Because you got to work on your writing.
Okay.
You got to always be right. You got to always write.
Right.
I don't care if you don't even like school. You got to write. I don't care if you want to hook school every day. You got to be a creative writer. You got to be able to read. I don't care what you do. You got to be able to read and you got to be able to write, because that can get you opportunities even if you don't have the education level.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
So growing up, did you have any comedians that influence you on how you craft your material, or how you tell a story or anything like that? Like, and if you do, who are those people?
well, before I knew I was wanting to be in the industry of making people laugh, I used to look at Sinbad, right?
Okay, nice, yeah.
And Sinbad, he can tell a story without using no profanity, none of
Yep,
that stuff.
you sure can.
So his way of crafting jokes like that and tell the truth at the same time. So Sinbad, and I used to look at Robin Harris all the time before he passed away. His energy was like no other. You couldn't match his energy. And so you take Robin Harris with the energy, and you take Sinbad with the storytelling and act outs. I mean, you got a perfect comedian.
So how starting? So you say you started in '95, right? You'll say, and then
I started a little earlier than 95. Like, all right, so you got to understand, I pledged in spring of 90, Cap Alpha Psi. I went home around 91. In 92, I was working at Cap. Yeah, but my first time on stage was around 92, 93. Like
'92,
maybe
'93.
93, 90, yeah. Like I would say 93, 90. But around that area going into 94. Because it wasn't long after that is when I got on TV.
Oh wow,
Like,
wow.
it wasn't long after that. I was young.
And that
I,
was Def
wasn't.
Jam, right?
Def
That
Jam
was
and
Def Jam.
Apollo, I did the first weekend.
Yeah.
That first weekend. The same weekend, I did them both at the same time. And then I went on to do Teen Summit, um, which was a great show.
That was on BET, right? Teen
Yeah.
Summit. Yep. Okay.
Then I started working for BET and Teen Summit. They moved me to New York City, and I got an opportunity to live in New York for about 4 or 5 years, producing television shows for the network. And that's how I learned how to become a filmmaker and producer, executive producer, because BET gave me the cameras. They gave me the opportunity. The only thing I had to do was find the story.
So tell the people, how did you meet Kat, and what was that exchange like? Because you guys have the one of the things that I admire about you, out of all the things that you do, is your relationship with Kat. Tell people, how did you meet Kat? How did that exchange happen? And you know.
Dang, I've been on Cat a long time. I've been on Cat. He used to host the Hollywood Park Casino um, in Los Angeles back in 97, 98, somewhere around there. We was all on BT. And I used to go up there. That's where I first started getting familiar with K Dub. And we used to it just was a lot of young comedians trying to get on. And Hollywood Park was the spot. Cat had that thing jumping, but we didn't like work on those shows together at that time or any of that. It was just more like a respect level and comedy respect. Um, so I think 2005, six, one of them was seven. One of them, I was doing I had kind of retired. I wouldn't say I retired, but I stopped doing comedy for a while to produce television for CBS Network and Viacom out in LA. And I got an opportunity. Luenell had called me. It was her birthday, and she was doing her birthday party at this club. And I had did a movie with Luenell, so I was like, that was like my little homegirl. I've been knowing her for a while. We did a movie called So Fresh, So Clean in Oakland. And
Shout out to Lunel in Oakland. Go
shout
ahead.
out to
Shout out.
Luenell in Oakland.
Yeah.
You gotta do that when you see her.
Okay.
But anyway, and Kat was on the show that night. We both went on stage. It was my first time going on stage in a while. I robbed. He robbed. Afterwards, he asked me, "Do I want to go on tour?" Um, He was starting his own tour. Do I want to go on tour? I said, yeah. I wasn't doing no comedy, so
Right.
this was like the first opportunity for me to go back and start making people laugh again. And started the tour. He ended up doing Pimpin' Pimpin'. I did Pimpin' Pimpin', went from like 500 people a night to about 5,000 people a night. And the legend of Cat Williams was growing, just like, and I was so happy to be around it because I was learning so much and getting a bit opportunity to get my chops wet. You know what I mean? At every city that we went to, 100 cities, 50 cities here, 75 cities. I
Listen,
mean, it
man,
was like
y'all be
so.
torn. I'll say that. Y'all be told
It,
like
it,
not like it's not a 10 city tour, it's not a 20 city tour. It's like it's always 30 and above. Like, like y'all when that, y'all be hitting them cities, man. Like it's
but the
crazy.
craziest, the craziest thing. That's why I tell people like this weekend alone, we did 24,000 people, right? And when I come back home to DC, and I really can't, really, I can't tell you how the experience. I could tell you it was 25,000 people this weekend, but just to be able to be in that element and that energy, it makes me a better political. It makes me understanding how to deal uh, with humanality,
Yeah.
understanding what people want, listening, understanding how to listen to people, just to um,
Make that connection.
man, I
Yeah.
stay connected.
Yeah.
So, with those meet and greets and then coming to the city and making sure I meet and greet and you never can know everybody, but you can try to get to know everybody.
Yeah.
So, I think God's given me an opportunity to show how to get to know people
Mm.
and show people who I am as a person, not just like like they look at certain people as robots, and I don't ever want to be looking as a robot. They controlling you. They can do what they want, and they can say, and then you kind of fighting for ability to be who you are at all times. Trying to stay away from who they want you to be.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's the humanitarian side of Rodney people. And I love it. And that's why you're saying blessed. Shout out to you, Rodney Red Grant. I said now you got me saying that, more now because I'm so used to saying calling you Red. And now you got
No, it's
me.
so good. You can put them together. You know what I mean. I just try to get people to know both of them because
Absolutely.
when it comes to when the ballot comes out, I don't want them to be confused. To be like, who is Rodney?
Right.
Nah, I want them to know
Yeah.
Rodney is Red, and
Right.
Red is Rodney.
So let's start going into films, right? So you hit the stage. Oh, well, first, before we get into the movies, I have to ask you personally. Being you talking about making connections with people and really understanding people, you're basically telling us that you have a love for people and who they are and their stories and their whys. And I love that. And that's very ambitious of you. Ambition with Hassan, Okay, make sure you subscribe. But
Snuck that in, huh, son?
but listen, man, you got to plug it in, man. Listen, I'm a businessman always. So
Hey, but the answer to your question about like just to be able be to talk to people like on a regular basis, man, you get a chance to find out who they are and you are. You can find out if are you a person that get irritated quick from people, you know, or I love people. Like I have conversations with people. I can tell they ready to go. Like I talk a hold of your head. I hold you up. They be like, we ain't holding you up, Red. No, you ain't holding me up.
I know I'll be saying that with my friends because I talk a lot, and they'd be like, "All right, Hassan." So whenever they say that, I'd be like, "Okay, well, I'll talk to you later. Let me know if you need anything." But no, I love that. I love that. So getting into film, right? So you grace the stage, you touch not hundreds of people, not 20 tens of people, but you have touched tens and hundreds of thousands of people, throughout your career, since
Millions.
millions. I'm sorry. Okay. I need to do my homework. Millions of people, connecting with them. Now you get into film because that also, of course, reaches a broader audience and connecting with people. And you've been in films that we all love, brother, like American Hustle and First Sunday, which is my personal favorite film of all time. And that definitely has been well received. How do you choose your roles in the film industry?
That's interesting. My first movie I ever did was a uh, movie I did with Miss Mulaney, um, and it was called The Breaks. And I was just a happy uh, entertainer, just trying to get in the movie role. And Ricky Harris was like, "I think I got this role for you." I was like, "What is it?" He was like, "You gonna play a black militant." And I was like, "All right, I'm gonna play the heck out of this black militant also," because I look at it like this: you can't complain about the roles you get, but you can make your role a great role
Right,
and memorable.
right,
So
right. That
every
part.
role I get, I try to make it memorable. So that was one of my first movies, and then I went on to do a Leprechaun in the Hood, and that was became a cult classic, not knowing to me. Um, and I wrote my first film in '98 called Family Reunion. I produced and directed it, and put some of my friends in there, and this was a good look. Shot it at my family's farms in Virginia, and shot here in Washington D.C. And that was like, you know times that you can't, to see your what you wrote to get on screen and to actually be distributed. It's just like it's a great feeling. Working with Ice Cube was always a good feeling. Uh, Smart guy. Him and Davey Tower were just a good people. It was First Sunday. I had worked with Davey Tower before on plays like He Say, She Say, but What Do God
God say
Say?
yes, yes,
So
yes.
he trusted me in that moment to pull that role off, and it you know, and American Hustle was just that was just like, for us to shoot that movie and that concept to come out of the cat's head and just be like, yeah, we're gonna go on a road trip and we're gonna film it.
I loved
And
it. It was definitely made history, man. That shit. Excuse me. Tell me, like with First Sunday, like I said, that's one of that's like if you didn't see First Sunday, you know what I mean? That was like one of them type of movies. It's like you almost lose your black card, like with Friday and with so many other different movies. But tell me, like with First Sunday, how did that happen? Tell me, like, did you guys had to like break a lot because y'all was laughing? How much of that was like improv? Like, cause just to sit at a table, you're sitting at the table with Cat, especially like when y'all in that room, like when y'all because they was held hostage for the people
mhm.
who haven't seen First Sunday, and they all sitting at the table, and you there with Ricky Smiley and Cat Williams and Tracy Morgan, all these comedy legends, and then you got Rodney, all that energy. Like, how was that?
I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, it's like I said, this is a work with great artists. It's always good. Um, my friends on set, and like I said, Davey Talbot is like a good friend of mine. I love him and his wife. They just good people. They put me on early in my career. Uh, Working with my partner Cat. I mean, his role in that movie was awesome. And just working with Ice Cube and just making people laugh off of. So because I think in that scene, I got an opportunity to just do what I wanted to do. I had a bugle in front of me. I don't know where I got the bugle from. I don't know why I was in it, but I just put it in the thing, holding Ice Cube's hand in that moment. It was just real. It was real. All that interaction in that situation was real. Um, But what people don't know, we supposed to be in the church and everything, and I don't know what happened with that part. We didn't make the church scenes, none of that, but the scenes that we had were super fun, and I appreciate them for being in them.
I know, absolutely, man. Listen, man, you got so much, going on, and I definitely want to go into in the political role, the political field that you embarking on now. But just with your demanding schedule, being a comedian, actor, writer. Well, first of all, being a humanitarian. Let's start there. I remember humanitarian and philanthropist, and a person who likes to connect with people and make people laugh. Right. With your demanding schedule, how do you balance it all? On a 48-week stand-up tour. Has it ended? Has it ended yet?
You can go to catwilliamslive.com. That's catwilliamslive.com, or you go to redgrant.com. You can see the dates on there.
Okay.
And it's we just started back up, and so it'll be a grueling schedule for me to get back home and campaign at the same time, and campaign while I'm there, and do the shows, and get back to my room and campaign some more. And it just don't stop. Campaigning is probably the hardest job I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
So, but that tour is like awesome. We got Mark Curry on there, Tommy Davidson, Pretty Ricky, Carl Williams, Zooman, Lil Mo. It's just like it's a good tour. It's like, and it's everybody get a chance to shine. Then Cat, comes out and destroys it. And especially since all the controversy gone on with the interview, the shows already sold out. Now they extra sold out, and they add more shows and more shows. I think they added another show in Tampa, added another show in Orlando, added another show in Richmond, added another. It's just they adding shows.
So what did you? I mean, just to actually, I gotta ask just that quick question. What did you think about that interview with Shannon and Kat?
I thought it was amazing. I mean, I just thought it was a time, and not because of what was said and who was said and all that. Nah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about the ability for a entertainer of any status to break the internet with words, and so many people um, getting things out of the interview. Even people that might say he shouldn't have said about me or whatever, they get more money out of it. They get more shows, more audiences.
Yeah.
You know, so not only did Cat, put things in a perspective of truth and lies and God and anything else. It's like God versus evil. Like, and we got to start thinking like that in general. Like, you know, how do we do things? It said Peter 4:7-11. Do things for your brother without grumbling. How do we start doing that again? How do we organize us as a people through all of the drama? Because all the other races can do it. Jewish people can do it. I see my Asian brothers and sisters do it. I see my African brothers and sisters do it. I mean, now we got to go and really say, look, we have to tap into who we are as African Americans, or whatever they want to call us, blacks, and really find out the spiritual side of who we are. And once we do that, we're gonna be all right. So, that interview was needed for the culture.
I mean, the numbers that it did just in a couple of days alone, like it was already like over 10 million and stuff. But you talk
It
about
was over 50 million.
now, yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the
And a
crazy
day
part.
that in that first day we should have known when it was already at 7, 8 million.
Yeah. I mean, he
You
even said
know,
it. He said it. This is gonna be your the most viewed show, and it is. I mean, like you said, the power of words, and I love that you would speak about that. The power of words that can really cover all and reach people. You know what I mean? It's definitely a great marketing strategy. I mean, if you think about it, like he's doing it for so many people, like you said, for the people that he named and or whatever that that happened in the interview, people got more shows out of it. People, more agents are probably calling these people, you know what I mean? Because they're hot. Because that's where we are. That's how entertainment works. People, like, if you're hot, they don't care why you're hot. You know what I mean? They just know that you're hot. So they want you in their film or they want you in this commercial, blah blah blah, because you're marketable now because you're hot right now. It's
yeah,
what are
your name is
yeah,
your name is ringing,
right, exactly, yep,
right? You know what I'm saying? So every and that's not even the reshares and all of that stuff. The 50 some million is not even people sharing it to
it's just
their
viewing
shares.
alone. It's just viewing alone,
Yeah.
like
But also, Cat gave an insight of who we are as comedians. We're not dummies. For some reason, people think because we make people laugh that we're dumb or something. I'm like, that's the stupidest ever. Like, we take situations that you might cry about and we make you laugh about it. We take the dirtiest parts of our society, our our thoughts and how we live, and we know we don't want to live in these detrimental areas that filled with gun violence and drugs and homelessness and trash and stuff that we make people laugh at it.
yeah,
But we gotta. That's how I know Black people. We can take things that have hurt us through over the years, and we laugh at it.
yeah, we sure
And
can.
we accept. We took slavery and handled it better than anybody else could handle slavery to this day. Any other race or group will probably been uproared and did something.
Yeah.
But we are forgiveful. We forgive people, and that's what people should love about us because we do forgive people, and you know we need more people to speak truth. Continue. I'm just glad I know him, and that's my friend. I'm glad I get a chance to hear truth and speak truth all the time. That's what makes my life who it is because of the truthful people I hang around.
So let's talk. Let's go into things that you're doing in the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Creating those type of environment, creating those type of spaces, right, for people. You've been very vocal about the reinstatement of vocational education in DC schools. How do you believe this can bridge educational and employment gaps, and why is this a cause that you're passionate about?
First, I met a lot of people who believe in vocational education, like myself. Met Miss Jerry Adams Simmons, who is with Black Women for Justice. She's the founder of Black Women for Justice, and we believe in some of the same things when it comes to vocational education and how it's the missing piece to helping our young people out of so many different things: poverty, um, killings and shootings, and opportunity to be able to have a career in something. Because everybody doesn't want to go to college, and everybody is not made for college. But vocational education is what helped our grandparents and their grandparents and their grandparents before them to get out of where we were to build. And I don't want people to forget that we have these options. But I've added, television, film, podcasting. We also want to do cybersecurity because
Nice.
young people right now can make about $90,000 to $100,000 a year just off of cybersecurity, keeping us safe.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
so I want to keep adding to these things and allowing our young people to be creative in places where they want to be creative, where they know they can be successful.
Yeah.
And not always put them in places where they like, damn, do I even want to be in this class? Do I want to even be doing this.
Yeah.
Let's give them that opportunity to be great. Um, and that's why I'm so passionate about bringing back vocational education to Washington D.C. schools. I'm the chairman of public relations for that, and I'm going to
Nice.
continue to push. But also pushing my programs like Don't Shoot Guns, Shoot Cameras. We teach kids filmmaking from thoughts of theater, Beyond Your Block, where we
Yeah.
take young people off their block and give them opportunities to be great and see different things, um, and just helping other uh, nonprofits to be in that space, also partnering up with different individuals that believe in the same things we believe in. But Shoot Cameras and Beyond Your Block has become one of the strongest programs in Washington D.C. to help young people.
Nice. And so, what schools? How many schools? And if you want to name them, please feel free. That you have these initiatives, because these are like clubs and organizations that people can be a part of within the schools. Correct?
Yeah, if they wanted to create that for their school, they could. So we've been to Eastern High School, Johnson Middle School, Dunbar Senior High School, um, and we're working right now to. We've been to Ballou High School, um, and we're working like to get them in every high school that really wants the program. Um, of course, the way DC schools are set up, it has to be cleared and everything. So, we're getting clearance for that. Um, but we want to make sure we take as many kids beyond their block as possible. You
Absolutely.
know, we're scheduling trips to New York, and we want to schedule trips to eventually to Africa, show our young people where we come from, and uh, just keep moving them beyond their block.
Wow. So, with this great initiative that you have, how can your peers around you, and including myself, I'm putting me in it, people who are influencers, that has an influence, that who are powerful, influential in their selective industries, what can we do to support what you have going on? Can we come in and visit some of these schools, talk to the students? Can we be one of the teachers? Because, like, for example, my guy right here, James Harrison, and I'm going to bring him on camera afterwards. He is not just a videographer, but he's a creative director. He has his own production house, so he always is teaching people about video production. You know what I mean? Which is a great you know moneymaker. As we all know, for people to really be them creative selves. So what can we do to really support that initiative, with these different projects that you have going on within these schools?
I think you can go to Beyond Your Block, DMV.com, become a part of the movement, donate to the movement. Programs don't run by themselves, and just be around the kids. Like, come and just show your face, show your face. Let them know who you are. Let them know what you do. They always interested. Videography is, Jay. We have to talk to him because he needs to be in front of these young people,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
uh, and they need him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got to we got to put the neighbor back in hood and just make it a neighborhood again.
Neighbor,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, we do, and we got to get off of social media sometime and be social again.
I know, and I was just talking to a friend of mine about that before. I'm like, people don't want to talk, like, because I'm 25, so I'm young. James, how old are you? 28? Yeah, he'll be 28, and so we're young, and it's like, and I was even telling James before, I'm like, people our age, we don't want to. Well, because I'm a sociable person, but nobody want to talk anymore. It's like everybody, things are so quick. People don't want to have a conversation, like, and people are not happy anymore. And I'm like, but why? And one of my greatest mentors, TD Jakes, yes, he is my mentor. Okay. Um
I
he
think he's everybody's mentor. I think we all got a little bit of TD Jakes in us. You know what I mean?
We do. And I remember he said in his sermon one time, you don't have to. He said we all go through things, but you don't have to look like what you're going through or what you've been through. You know what I
I
mean?
told somebody that yesterday. Like, somebody was like, you you don't look like you haven't. No, he said you haven't been broke since you was 19, Red. You don't know what I'm talking about. I said, what? Boy, you don't know how many floors I done slept on. You don't know how many couches I done slept on. You don't know how many cars I done slept in. You don't know you don't know where I'm at right now, but
Right.
I wear it good.
Right.
I wear this good.
Right.
And God just wants us to have faith.
Yep.
And so
And it's
yeah,
not a
I
sign of
agree.
being fake. And it's not a
No,
sign of
it's
none of
not.
that. It's a sign of perseverance and
It
strength
is.
and motivation that there will be a brighter day. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
So
Like as much as and we can't complain about it. That's what we got to take out of our joints, the complaint part.
absolutely.
Like eh, just for me to make the MLK Day parade yesterday was like something like out of a movie. If you'd have seen me just driving from this one place in Florida to Miami to get to make the plane is to get, and it, it showed me. Sometimes I look at myself and be like, "Dang, you persevered through that."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
It's
just get there.
inspiring. It's
Yeah, it's
inspiring.
inspiring for. I want to inspire people. I want people to inspire me.
Yeah. I
You
love
know,
that. I love that. Yeah, because it's bigger than me. Even though I'm 25, people think that I'm 40. Because just or 50 because just how I come off and how mature I am because I was a latchkey kid and I grew my grandparents really raised me. So I was raised around a lot of older people and a mature way of thinking that
Mhm.
people my age are not accustomed to, but I just try to tell people I said be sociable, talk, people and this whole thing with anxiety, not trying to be inconsiderate of what people are going through mentally and emotionally, but it's 2024 now, right? Please hear my heart when I say this.
Let me hear.
The anxiety, using anxiety as an excuse, it's time out. It's time out for that because I believe every diagnosis can be treated. I even tweeted that every diagnosis can be treated, in some kind of way, and not just in a chemical pill, but just in praying or just in whatever that gives you joy. You know what I mean? And
Well, anxiety is something that we all get, right?
absolutely, absolutely,
Um, People ask me, "Do you still get nervous before you go on stage?" I have super anxiety every time I'm about to get on stage. I mean, anxiety and public speaking. I get anxiety sometimes, but I think if we got to teach breathing mechanisms and how to cope with anxiety because it is treatable,
yeah,
but it overtakes some people more than others.
yeah, that's true. Yep,
So it took, and the only way to really cure it is by understanding breathing and understand how to calm yourself down in moments. It's not easy.
absolutely. So how do you reignite your purpose?
That's a great question, son.
Thank you. This is what I do.
How do you how do you reignite your purpose?
Yeah.
I I think it's always fired up in you. I don't think you have to reignite it. I just think it's like a stove where you just gotta turn it up more, more, and more. Once you learn and what your purpose is, you just turn it up more. And people think they know your purpose more than God knows your purpose.
Oh God, yes they do.
So they might say, "Yeah, Hassan, what the freak are you trying to do a podcast? You should be on radio, right?" Instead of instead of them understanding that this is where you've been moved to, right? And I'm the same way. Like at first, they was like, "Why the hell he's trying to be into politics? He's a comedian." I'm like, I just laugh at this. Like people want to put you in a box all the time. Yeah, I tell them I'm only a comedian when I got a mic in my hand. So if I ain't on stage, I'm pretty much not a comedian, just to let y'all know that. So I don't want to bust y'all bubble. When I'm on stage, I am not nowhere thinking about making people laugh. I'm humorous if I need to be. I have a personality, but I'm not walking around for your humor.
Mm. Wow, I'm not walking around for your humor. Okay,
I'm not.
that
I'm not
needs to
walking
be
around.
that needs to be tweeted. That needs to be on a shirt. That needs to be that needs to be one of your monikers. No, seriously, when you go out campaigning, I'm not here. I'm not here. What you say? Say it again.
I'm not walking around for your humor.
I'm not walking around for your humor. I like that. I'm gonna write that down. Put that in my note.
Please
Okay.
do. And we can go back. We can go back and listen to how I exactly said it.
Exactly.
And really get it.
That's probably gonna be the title of this episode. Ambition with
Good.
Hassan. Special guest, Rodney Red Grant. I'm not walking around for your humor. Yeah. Yeah, that's people, because it's gonna make people click on it. And that's what we want. We want people to subscribe and to click and watch this episode.
And like.
Absolutely. So this part of the podcast, man, as I'm closing, I asked this question to all of my guests. It's called 30 Seconds to Success. I love this segment because this is one of the most ambitious part of the podcast. You have 30 seconds to share the top tips to being successful.
30 seconds?
Yep, 30 seconds. Yep, 30 seconds. Wait a minute, I'm about to start the timer. Go.
Be yourself. Look in the mirror every day. Be respectful to your seniors. Stop lying. Eat right. Exercise. And if whoever your partner is, love them to death. And have some babies. even if you adopt them.
Even if you adopt
babies
them.
Around.
Get
some young people.
How many children do you have?
I have 3.
3. Okay, nice.
All girls.
All
girls.
I love it. I love it. And a dog. So you really have 4.
Oh yeah. Oh, Briar's, he's the biggest kid. He gotta be walked.
You gotta be walked. Listen, man, this has been fun. This has been amazing, man. It's been definitely inspirational. And one of the things that I can take away personally from me from this, just from having this discussion with you, brother, is really being, personable. Humility is what I'm getting, because you and I, we haven't known each other for a long time, but when you and I connected, it was like, bro, you know what I mean? It was like that type of energy, and we've met on just different events and things like that, and really, but I know I've always, followed you. I followed your career. I watch you and everything, and to see a person that I've watched and that I've laughed and enjoyed to this point, talking to you, is like a moment for me, and I appreciate it. And just to show that you're more than just funny, you know what I mean? Like, going back to your point, I'm not here to walk around for your humor. You're a loyal person. You're a personal person. You're a humble person, and I love that because it shows another side of what funny can look like. And that is you, Mr. Rodney Red Grant. Is there anything?
No,
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Is there anything else?
I appreciate it. And it's the same. It's the same with you, Hassan. I look at my young brothers and sisters that are striving for greatness. That if I can just, whatever I can do in that moment, that's what I want to be. That's what I want my legacy to be, helping people out. But I do want to tell people to go to grantatlarge.com and follow my DC Council at Large race, which is June 4th, 2024. Early voting starts in April. We're going to vote from April up into June 4th. We're going to break the records. We're going to break numbers. And we're going to let people know that voting is cool. We're going to party to the polls. You can do what you want as long as you go to the polls and
Absolutely.
wake up and go to the polls. We're gonna have our numbers go from 20% to 60, 70%. And that's what I'm striving for. So continue to support Red Grant, continue to support Rodney Red Grant, and just continue to support my brother Hassan and his ambitious, beautiful show. And let's all be inspired to be have more ambition in our life.
Thank you, brother. Well, listen, man, I ain't got nothing else to say. Rodney said it the best, everybody. Rodney Red Grant, let's give it up.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely,
Appreciate
brother.
You. All right, thanks, Hassan.